Get ready to dive into a world where empires stand on the brink of war and terrible monsters tear at the fragile borderlands of men. The Adventurer-Conqueror King System Imperial Imprint, or as we like to call it, Acts 2, is now live on Kickstarter. Acts 2 is the new edition of the acclaimed best-selling fantasy role-playing game. You'll find everything you need to enjoy epic fantasy campaigns with a sweeping scope. Whether you want to crawl through dungeons, experiment with alchemy, crossbreed monsters, run a merchant emporium, raise an undead legion, or even conquer an empire, Acts 2 supports your playstyle. Acts 2 integrates experience point mechanics, making campaign activities a seamless part of the core gameplay loop. Your character levels up in new and exciting ways each time you play, adding massive replayability to each of your adventures. Acts 2 offers 18 character classes, 378 spells, new combat mechanics, and so much more. Support Acts 2 on Kickstarter today.
Another pointless video call where nothing gets done. I think you're on mute, David.
Sorry. What did I miss?
IT just approved Miro for the whole company.
Miro? That's the...
Online whiteboard. For team collaboration. We can make these long video meetings so much shorter with Miro boards. We can share ideas, feedback, and updates on them whenever. Actually see what we're talking about.
It's all online.
Miro will make our flexible work setup so much easier. With one virtual space for our brainstorms, projects, presentations.
Oh, that sounds kind of amazing. So I don't need to wake up for 6 a.m. calls with the London office anymore.
Now you're getting it.
Don't let time zones get in the way of your team working well together. See why 99% of the Fortune 100 trust Miro to get good work done from anywhere. Get your first 3 boards free at Miro.com. That's MIRO.com.
Okay, here's how Miro works. See, it's amazing.
What's everyone doing at David's desk?
Ever since marketing started using Miro's collaborative online whiteboard, he thinks all our other teams should sign up.
Why?
He says Miro's making his meetings disappear. And if every team gets on it, that means even less meetings. They're using Miro for brainstorms, mind maps, customer research.
So could we use Miro instead of having another 100 meetings for every round of feedback?
Yep. You can comment, react to ideas, even leave a recording on the board.
And what about presentations?
There are Miro templates for that.
How do you know so much about Miro?
I've actually been using it all along. I just used a Miro board to plan the best vacation.
Okay, I'm on board.
See how Miro users save up to 80 hours every year by meeting less and doing more. Get on board at Miro.com with 3 boards free forever. That's MIRO.com.
Knocked Prone is a clean, chaotic, and deep podcast for D&D nerds. Find more ways to support our podcast in the episode description. Last time on Knocked Prone.
Zach's gonna go put his hand on Selene's shoulder and say, I don't trust war, but I do trust you. If that's what you think we should do.
As long as I don't have to really quit Ascended Corp at the moment, I think we should be okay.
Ascended Corp doesn't know why you were all in inferior with us showing that Sparkell is on our side and taking her and her database off of the grid. Systems around the city will be down. There will be riots in the streets, chaos. But maybe this is the chaos we need for change.
Are you spying on us for Ascended Corp?
Redacted.
The more we become public figures, the more protected we are. I think that's really good advice. The more people who know who we are and the kind of people that we are, the more people that we'll have watching us, the more people we have that know us. And I feel like we'll be a little bit more protected by they can't just kill us all off at once. It'd be too suspicious.
You're thinking that we should put our names out there, but wouldn't that also be potentially putting a target on our backs?
And there's a list of unsavory pets that have gone unadopted for a long time. And that is basically your entry into the punch bowl, is to adopt one of these pets.
Hello, are you going to be my master?
And then the blink dog shakes its head back and forth and flops its ears around. The cameras are down, the mainframes. Ascended Corp is no more. Rise of the rebellion.
I'm going to turn to the party and say, well, if we want to get Ascended Corp's trust, then there's only one thing to do, and that's go right to them. If we were really on their side, I feel like we'd be offering to help right now.
I don't think he's ever mentioned to anybody else, but he actually lived in the Mithral Mines at one point, and it was a very dark, unhappy experience for him, and he is not looking forward to going back.
Whether you're a halfling, a giant, or somewhere in between,
Round the table with your friends, playing Dungeons and Dragons.
And if life ever knocks you down, your dice will surely turn around. Roll your stats, it's time to quest. Let's put your characters to the test.
My name is Cade, the host and dungeon master of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I'm joined here by the players to my left.
Alec playing Zag.
Mason playing Grom.
Marissa playing Efimia.
And Brooklyn playing Selene.
The prominent smell of burnt copper and oil is lingering in the air beyond this arched gate of the city. And through the gate, there's this huge, grandiose building. And it's like a rectangle made out of metal beams that go down every 5 feet or so. And in between the metal beams are glass pane windows. And the windows, the glass of the windows is yellow and dingy from years of arcane exhaust and exposure from these trains exhausting some arcane substance. And you can see there is a wood elf dressed in a janitorial uniform that is squeegeeing off a sloppily spray painted skull off of one of these windows. And you see that various races like elves and gnomes that are standing on these train platforms, each of them clutching their purses, darting their eyes back and forth. Grom and Zag, you know that this place is very known for pickpockets. And as you're kind of looking around and taking all of this in, you notice that atop the train station there is a huge tower in the center of the train station building, and it's caked with the runic crystals that Grom you have mined for before. They shine so brightly, they occasionally look like they're bursting flashes of orange flame as they're pulsing in this weird fashion. And in the center of the building, you also see a wooden shack with a sign for tickets.
Oh, wonderful, right over here. We have special passes. We get tickets off for free.
Yeah, it looks like you get tickets for free. And you see a little satyr is standing behind the ticket booth and punches each of your tickets. And as they're punching their tickets, I used to work for the Satyr Press. They don't like me, though. I don't have a high enough charisma score. Have you heard of Kelric's show? He's so good. As he's stamping your passes and handing them back to you.
I haven't, Kelric. I'll have to remember that name.
Oh my gosh. Are you Grom?
I have been called that, yes.
Oh my goodness.
You could just call him the champion.
Oh yeah. Kelric talked about you on his last show. Oh, you've been through quite a lot.
Really? I didn't know that I was being talked about in such circles. This is exciting. I guess I really am moving up.
Yeah, it's a news segment from Ascended Corp called Talked Prone. Some people call it a tabloid. I call it the news.
Wow.
He's a good man. He's clever.
So you guys get your tickets back stamped. The satyr asks for each of your autographs.
Grom knows how to barely read and does not know how to write. So Grom it's literally just a squiggle that he makes up uniquely every single time.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that you squiggled on my chest like that. I'll never wash this part of my chest again.
Selene's flattered.
As you notice that there's a flashing arcane light above this one train, and above this train it says Mithral Mines. And you notice that on your ticket, when you walk closer to this train, a rune light on top of your ticket continues to grow brighter and brighter and vibrate until it is almost hurting to hold in your hand. You can assume that this is your train.
As we're going to get on, Zag is going to hesitate at the entrance to the train. He's been avoiding them. His uncle has taught him to avoid them because many of the orc mercenaries hunting him had been using them to travel around. So he will be a little bit hesitant and just looking kind of at that first step to take onto the train and not sure what to do.
Yeah, roll me a perception check as you're getting onto this train, Zag.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Oh! So you notice that not only are there no orcs on this train, but you also notice that there are 10 Badland credits just sitting there. And they have a note on it. And as you look at this note, you kind of squint at it. It says Zag on this Badland credits.
I'm going to go ahead and just pick him up and look at this and be like, guys, look, somebody left me a gift. Maybe it's from Avani. I told you. I Told you she had a thing for me.
Efimia looks and goes, should you really be, that excited about money on the ground with your name on it? It could be a trap.
Have you ever found money on the ground with your name on it?
No, thankfully.
I'm going to go ahead and open it up, check it out.
So you open up the note, and under the note where it says Zag, it just says Heart Dash Avani.
I think you wooed her.
Zag is going to read the note. He's going to blush. Just blush. Almost, that giggle from the previous session where we were playing some patty cake. You're going to hear a couple really soft. He's going to try and hold him in. He's going to tuck the note in his pocket. He's not going to say a word. He's just going to look at everybody, big smile. Walk right onto the train, confident, strong.
You notice that the train seats are dingy and brown from overuse. You can tell that the seats were once covered with the bluish green and purple of the 90s jazz design patterning. These seats long worn away. You guys notice that your tickets each have a seat number, and you each take your appropriate seats. What are you going to be doing for this train ride? This train ride, you notice that there is a timer at the top. In arcane lights, it says 45 minutes.
Who am I seated by?
Roll me a d4.
4.
With a 4, you notice that your seat is right next to Selene. Grom and Zag are in the seats behind you, directly behind you.
How much of this whole situation are you following?
I mean, there's a lot of really unanswered questions.
Exactly. I'm getting a little nervous.
I am too, but I just think if we take things one step at a time, and between you and me, if we can keep Zag and Grom from doing something stupid, I think we'll be okay.
Should we consider kitty leashes? I mean, they're small enough where we could probably fit them in them.
Like the backpack ones?
Yeah. Like the ones where you just can't let your toddlers wander off too long? I feel like we need one each.
Yeah.
Do we rock, paper, scissors for who gets who?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I call Grom.
Selene and Efimia, Brooklyn and Marissa, right now I'm going to need you to do a rock, paper, scissors shoot.
Okay.
And it's best one of one. There are no 2 of 3s in this situation.
Okay, we're going for who gets Grom, and the other has to deal with Zag.
Okay.
Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh! I got my wishes.
Selene casts rock. Efimia casts scissors foolishly.
We don't even have these leashes. This is just a hypothetical.
Well, the hypothetical. You look in your pack. Oh my goodness! There are 2 leashes
in our pack right now.
And you see a note attached to the leashes that says Selene. And as you open it, it says Heart Dash Avani.
Never tell Zag.
How powerful is the Cox network? So powerful that one day, the internet will let your doctor perform miracles from thousands of miles away.
Connecting to remote operating room.
Giving a whole new meaning to the term house call.
Operation complete.
The Cox network. With gig speeds everywhere. It's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, bringing us closer. In Cox serviceable areas, speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms apply. Other restrictions may apply.
It seems your wish comes into existence, Selene, and both you and Efimia have these backpack leashes that you can give to Grom and Zag after the train ride.
Well, looks like we have a solution for when the train stops. That was a little creepy.
I'm starting to feel like our words just get out there. Definitely not telepathically. Maybe with a microphone and a speaker somewhere.
I'm gonna give the I see you with 2 fingers back and forth to me and Efimia to without trying to say anything, which also understanding we're probably being watched as well. But I'm just trying to be more subtle. You don't happen to know Thieves' Camp, do you?
I do not.
Well, that would come in handy about now. Thieves' Cant is a language. It's a rogue secret language.
Selene, if you would like to teach Efimia a few Thieves' Cant phrases, you are totally allowed to on this train ride. After a few lessons, and maybe with an intelligence check or 2 that's high enough, Efimia, I would allow you to have a basic understanding of what Thieves' Cant is.
Okay.
Yes.
I vote, since you got it to get Grom, I get the purple backpack leash combo.
Okay, fine. What color is the other one? That's the question.
Red.
To clash with my pink?
So you guys are sitting on this train, and it eventually leaves the station.
Zag wants to look at Grom and say, "Hey, Grom, I feel a little bad about all those potions you took. That they made you look good, but you look different."
Oh yeah, I kind of forgotten about that, and I'll take a look in the glass of the window and just try to see my reflections.
Grom, as you look out the window, you notice that a thick maroon arcane rain is falling from the sky at an alarming rate. Whatever this rain is, it is not natural, but it has made this window much like a mirror, so you're easily able to see your reflection. You hardly recognize the person staring back at you, however. As your eyes are set on this window trying to see your reflection, you see these yak-like horns that are sticking out of the top of your head and gills adorning each side of your neck, as well as a bright orange beard. All of these effects you gained from drinking unknown potions to get money for your debut fight.
I've never really had much hair, so I don't know if I dislike the orange hair. The horns are interesting, and I don't know. I could do without the gills, I think.
Okay, you trust me?
Absolutely.
Okay, Zag is gonna put his hands on the gills on Grom's neck, and he's going to close his eyes and deeply focus, and I want to flavor a little bit. I want Grom's eyes to almost like roll back, pure white eyes while I cast this, and I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration and see if I can cure the gills that he's been poisoned with. I don't even know how you'd exactly describe it.
Technically, yeah, it would be poisoned.
It was a poison that he
had
taken that made him grow gills. I want to try and cast a Lesser Restoration to cure him from having those gills on his neck.
Yes, so you tap into Lesser Restoration, you place your hands on Grom's neck, and you feel the skin literally mend back together, and the gills on Grom's neck are completely vanished when you lift your hands, Zag.
And as kind of Zag comes to, I want to almost make it seem like when Zag's casting magic, it's almost like an out-of-body experience, right? So then all of a sudden he kind of comes back to, and he's like, "Did it work? It worked.
The air is lighter.
They're gone. The gills are gone."
Thank you, Zag. Your power impresses me. I've never been one for magic, but I'll be honest, you did scare me there. Reaching for my neck, then seeing the black smoke come out was a little bit frightening, but it worked. It worked.
Giant hug.
Yeah.
Giant hug. I'll heal you till the day I die.
So you guys have been traveling on this train for about 20 minutes. Everyone go ahead and roll me a perception check. DC 16.
17 for Zag.
15.
8.
19.
Selene and Zag, you both notice as you roll these high perception checks, you hear on the very top of the train, the metal train.
Do you guys hear that?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Hear what?
I know. And I'll kind of tilt my head back to one of the snoring patrons. It's been annoying me since we've got on.
No, not that. It sounds like there's something on the roof of the train.
There's definitely something up there. I can tell. Is there a roof hatch or anything else that we can kind of like look through or try and see what's up there?
There is no roof hatch, but as you are looking around, you hear this terrible screeching of metal, and what seems like hundreds of sharp teeth break through the hull of this train, giving way to a huge serpentine head of this giant beast. And atop this train, there's a reptilian monster, and you see that on top of this reptilian monster, there's an orc riding on a saddle strapped to this lizard's tank-like body. Heavily armored scales lead all the way down this lizard's back with a large club protrusion to the end of its tail. You recognize this beast to be an Ankylosaurus, and you recognize a similar stench of a recently uncovered grave, as you can assume this Ankylosaurus has recently been turned from a fossil into a zombie. And this orc that is mounted atop this Ankylosaurus zombie, Selene, you notice, has a very familiar heart dash note in his hand as he looks down and says,
"Oh, Zag, I had a feeling that I would find you on this train. Well, your father's gonna pay me double to bring you back alive, but that doesn't mean I can't have a little fun first."
And everyone roll me initiative.
20.
A natural 20?
Yes.
You will have a surprise round then, Efimia.
Okay.
14.
13.
And 5.
Nice. All right, with a natural 20, Efimia, you get a surprise round on this Ankylosaurus and its rider.
Guys, I'm so sorry. Please help me.
I was hoping for some fun.
Not exactly how I wanted to start the day, but okay. I'm just going to try to at least, give us a second to react. I'm going to cast blindness at the monster.
All right, just to let you know, they do have a constitution of +3, so they have to get an 11 or higher. Unfortunately, they get an 18.
Oi.
They break free of your blindness spell and give out like a dinosaur. Efimia, you are also at the top of the initiative. You get another turn.
I kind of have to shake off my last spell not working. It was something new that I just learned, and obviously I couldn't pull it off. How far away are the orc and the...
They are about 10 feet away from you, suspended in the air 10 feet above your position.
Okay, still on top of the train?
Yes.
All right. Is anybody else in my direct direction or pointing up? Would I be able to avoid people with a cone?
You would be able to avoid people with a cone as long as Selene ducked a little bit.
Okay. Efimia's just gonna look over at Selene and yell, "Duck!"
I promptly duck.
I'm rolling for burning hands. A 15-foot cone of fire that would hit any creature within that cone. And it's a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, the Ankylosaurus gets a 12, so they fail. And then the orc gets a natural 20, so they will succeed.
4, 3, 3, and 4 for a total of 14.
This cone of fire envelops both the Ankylosaurus and the orc, and they both take half damage because it seems like this Ankylosaurus is resistant to fire damage.
Of course he is.
It is the orc's turn, and he is going to click his stirrups on the back of this Ankylosaurus and say, "Get him!" The Ankylosaurus is going to do something called fossil breath. So I'm going to need each of you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, heck yeah. 19 for Zag.
18 for Grom.
13 for Efimia.
And 18 for Selene.
With a dex save of 13, you all pass, so you only take half damage as you see necrotic dinosaur bones and skulls chomping down at you. Half of 33, which is 16 points of damage each.
What?
16 points of necrotic damage.
What?
That is the end of the Ankylosaurus's turn. Zag, you are up.
Does Zag believe that Ankylosaurus may be undead?
You can tell just by looking at it. It is more bone than it is skin. It is definitely undead.
Okay. Zag is going to be angry that these orcs are just so persistent. Like he feels like he has moved on. Like he is done with this whole running and hiding. He's been trying to stay away from them, but they just are so persistent and keep going after him. And he is going to try and cast Hold Person on the orc.
Okay.
That is riding the Ankylosaurus. Must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration.
He has a +1 to wisdom. What's your spell save?
14.
That would be a 2.
So you're going to see Zag is going to throw his hand out at that orc, and black necrotic tendrils are almost going to go and enwrap him and squeeze him and hold him still. And you're going to see him be completely paralyzed and unable to move. And he's going to yell, "Leave me and my friends alone."
Okay, roll me a luck check, Zag. If you get an 18, he will fall off the Ankylosaurus.
18.
Wonderful.
18
so
straight up.
You see as he freezes, his boots fall out of the stirrups on the back of this Ankylosaurus's saddle, and he falls to the ground, and he falls unconscious. He hits his head in just the right way. This orc is totally unconscious, but you still have this zombie Ankylosaurus sitting above you. Grom, you are up.
Put my hand on his shoulder, good one, and use it as a push-off block, and I'm just going to push. And how far away is it?
10 feet above you.
Okay. I will unsheath my hammer and my shield, and I just want to throw... Can I throw both of them as my 2 attacks?
Of course, yeah.
Natural 7. I don't think... 13.
That'll not hit.
And with my shield... Natural 1.
Oh, dude.
Can I use my inspiration on the natural 1?
Yeah, of course.
Simply because I don't want my shield to just go flying out of the train into nowhere. 19 to hit with my shield.
19 will hit.
Okay. 5 points of damage with the shield.
5 points of bludgeoning damage?
Yeah, and then...
You notice that the Ankylosaurus with its armored body only takes a bit of that damage.
Okay. As part of my movement / bonus action, would you allow me to retrieve my weapons?
Sure, of course.
Okay, and then I'll just hold the shield up, and I'm going to move 10 feet just to the other side of the carriage, and I'm going to be waving people who are sitting over there and just be going, go, go! And I'm going to just be holding up my shield in a defensive stance.
How powerful is the Cox network? So powerful that one day, the internet will let your doctor perform miracles from thousands of miles away.
Connecting to remote operating room.
Giving a whole new meaning to the term house call.
Operation complete.
The Cox network. With gig speeds everywhere, it's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, bringing us closer. In Cox serviceable areas, speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms apply. Other restrictions may apply.
Selene, you are up.
Okay, I'm going to roll to hit the Ankylosaurus with my Owl Pike. 25 to hit.
A 25 will definitely hit.
5 points of damage.
So you deal 5 points of damage to this Ankylosaurus. You cut across its shoulder, and it whimpers and lets out a...
I would like to use my bonus action to hide. Kind of hide behind my seat.
Okay, roll me a stealth check.
I got an 11.
Its passive perception is 14, so unfortunately, it clocks you as you are trying to hide. With that, Efimia, you are up again.
Efimia's kind of fuming at this point because, she keeps trying to master these skills that she's learning and as she's growing. But for the most part, it seems like either it's a total win or a total fail. There is no in between. Even though she did actually hit the Ankylosaurus and the orc a little bit, it just didn't feel like enough to her. She knows she doesn't have enough power in her to try those bigger things. I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
It's a natural one.
So your Eldritch Blast swings wide and it hits the top of the train. A few pieces of metal break off of the train and hit some nearby passengers, kind of trapping them underneath.
She kind of huffs, but her eyes widen when she realizes that there are probably people stuck under there. I would like to run over and see if there's anyone I can reach.
So there's a little gnome in the rubble who seems to be able to be easily pulled out, and he's like, "Thank you! I'll never forget your kindness!" And then he runs off of the train exit. It is the Ankylosaurus' turn. They're going to roll a d6, and on 5 and 6, they get to refill their breath weapon.
Oh, no.
No.
That is a 1, and so it will not refill its fire weapon, but it will chomp down at Selene with its bite attack. That is going to be a 21 to hit, Selene.
That hits.
This Ankylosaurus climbs down from the hole in the train and bites at you, Selene, and you are going to take 14 points of piercing damage as it bites into you. Zag, you are up.
So Zag is going to see Selene take this giant bite attack from this dinosaur, which he knows was only after them because of him. And he is going to run up to Selene as close as he can and say, I'm so sorry. And he's going to cast Cure Wounds on Selene, putting his hand on her shoulder where she got bit. He's going to put his hand on it, and he's going to try and summon as much power as far back in his ancestral line as he can. I'm going to cast this as a second level spell. 13 points of healing to Selene.
All right, so you heal for 13 points of healing, Selene. With that, Grom, you are up.
With the way that I'm positioned, is there a way, because it's currently preoccupied by Selene, can I flank it, or is it too big?
It is currently super... Being a dinosaur, it is very, very overwhelmed. You could definitely get advantage on it basically anywhere you attack it at this point.
So yeah, I will move just the opposite side, and then I'm going to try to hit it with my hammer. First attack is 22 to hit.
That'll hit, definitely.
6 points of bludgeoning damage, and then 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
You notice again that it takes half with the bludgeoning damage.
And then I am going to take a deep breath, and to everyone who is still fleeing the train, I'm just going to yell again, "Get out!" And I'm just doing second wind. So I rolled a 9 plus my fighter level 4, so 13 points of healing.
Wonderful. Okay. So
and then action surge.
Oh, awesome.
And a natural 20.
Woo!
That's what I was hoping for.
That'll
Finally. 11 points of bludgeoning damage, halved to 5.
Okay.
So with the thing that we decided to do, so basically, Cade and I decided that fighters, specifically champion fighters, are not very well balanced. They get a little underpowered. So we added an extra spicy feature just to improve critical, where I get to regain a D10 plus my fighter level on crit. And then my next attack has +2.
Yes, so you definitely can add that. That version of the champion fighter subclass comes from Flute's Loot. So check out their content. They're really, really great.
So I rolled a 3. So with that, I'm back up to full health.
Nice.
I've used both my second wins this turn and my action surge. But you know what? I'm feeling okay.
But with that action surge and all of your attacks that you did this turn, Grom, you notice that this Ankylosaurus is bloodied.
Okay.
And with that, Selene, you are up. This Ankylosaurus is within 5 feet of you. It has its teeth bared to attack you again.
Okay, I would like to use my all pack again and use my sneak attack as well. That's a natural 20.
Yeah!
All right, that definitely is going to hit. Go ahead and roll double damage. You also get to double your sneak attack damage as well.
Yeah. Rogues are crazy.
26.
There you go. Wow.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 60, this creature has 4 hit points left. So,
some scale.
Wow.
So, Selene, is that the end of your turn? This Ankylosaurus is limping.
Yes, that is the end of my turn.
All right, Efimia, you are up.
Fine hit, Butcher.
So I just pulled out the gnome and I faced the monster.
The monster's is right behind you. Like, you can feel its back left leg pressing up against you.
Okay. I'm going to cast Minor Illusion. I am going to put the illusion of, she's going to put the illusion of a box over the Ankylosaurus's head.
Okay.
To at least, since her blinding spell didn't work, this is her way to fake it.
Yes. So the Ankylosaurus has a cardboard box over its head. And with that, is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
All right. Awesome.
I'm going to go back to digging through the rubble to see if I can find anyone else.
Awesome. The Ankylosaurus is going to roll to see if it gets its breath weapon back. And with a 6, it is going to get its breath weapon attack back. So I'm going to need Selene and Zag to make me dexterity saving throws.
Zag is going to use a point of inspiration, thanks to Cade from our earlier. Somebody knocked somebody prone. Because I know I'm going down if I don't pass this. Ooh, hey! Natural 20 from the inspiration
Natural
point.
20, awesome.
22 for me.
22, so you will both pass. Selene, you will take...
I'm so nervous, can I tell you that?
You will take 5 points of necrotic damage, which is 20 halved and then halved again since you are resistant and you passed your save. And Zag, with a natural 20, you won't take any damage as this Ankylosaurus breathes these fossils out onto you. And with that, that's the end of its turn. It's looking really, really hurt. Zag, you are up.
Zag is going to look at all of his companions, see that they're all injured on his behalf and still be just feeling so guilty, and he is going to hands out to all of them and cast a bless spell. And I'd like to flavor that with thinking that, kind of like earlier with the lesser restoration, that all of their eyes almost go, their pupils and their iris disappear. It's just a pure white for just a second before they take the effects of bless, and now they can add an additional d4 to attack rolls and saving throws per turn.
That's great. And Grom, with that, you are up. You are standing right behind...
I thought it would be dead by now, honestly, but I will take an attack at it.
Yeah, go for it.
So I have +2 to damage on this attack. 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
8 points of damage reduced to 4.
Okay, wonderful. So you deal 4 points of damage to this Ankylosaurus, which is just enough to knock it totally out of the park. It flies through the hole in the top of the train. Team Dinosaur blasting off again, and then it disappears into a star. And with that, we are at the end of combat.
Can I flavor one thing? I want to grab a bone for Avery.
Yeah, so as you hit it, you are able to grab one of the fossils that it breathed out, and it flies out of the train. And with that, we're out of combat, and I believe that is where we're going to end our session for the night. My name is Cade, the host and dungeon master of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I'm joined here by the characters to my left.
Alec playing Zag.
Mason playing Grom.
Marissa playing Efimia.
And Brooklyn playing Selene.
Thank you so much for joining us. We really enjoyed all of these sessions so far. I'm so excited to see where the rest of these sessions go. I've been very excited to prep and plan and have dinosaurs in a campaign. And so if you're excited as me, go on over to patreon.com/knocked and check out our awesome perks. We have a ton over there, including
recording our intro, picking an NPC,
prequel episodes, talked prone episodes,
getting episodes a day early.
I actually think there is more perks to being a patron than just listening to the show.
I agree. Yeah. Free dice at a higher tier. Literally, we have so many awesome Patreon bonuses.
Discounts on future merchandise.
Discounts on merchandise. A Discord community where you are a VIP member as well. There are so many benefits to being one of our patrons. So go on over to patreon.com/knocked and consider subscribing today for as low as $2 a month to get some of these awesome perks. And with that, we hope that you remember when life knocks you flat on your back, all you have to do is keep rolling, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
How powerful is the Cox network? So powerful that one day the internet will let your doctor perform miracles from thousands of miles away.
Connecting to remote operating room.
Giving a whole new meaning to the term house call.
Operation complete.
The Cox network. With gig speeds everywhere, it's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, bringing us closer. In Cox serviceable areas, speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms apply. Other restrictions may apply.